So in this video, I'm gonna be talking about 5 different ways that women act around attractive men and what it really means, because there are guys that have maximized their overall physical presentation, their looks, their physique, their fashion, their style. They just become more of an attractive man. But even men that are considered handsome and attractive to women, they often misinterpret their signals. They often miss signals and subtle signs that a woman is attracted to him. And the more you miss these signs, the more you don't know how women communicate their attraction for you based on their behavior traits around a man that they find attractive. When you're that attractive man that they're doing these things around you, but you can't pick up on these signs, you can't pick up on their subtle behavior cues that they find you attractive, then you're going to miss a lot of these signs and you're not going to be able to otherwise maximize these opportunities that women are trying to send to you when they are attracted to you. Because you have to understand that women by and large are going to be more indirect, subtle, more passive with their attraction for you. So just understand that that's how they're going to operate. With that being said, I'm going to be talking about just the 5 different ways that women are going to act around a handsome and attractive man that they find desirable. And these aren't the only 5 things that they will do, but these are definitely some of the things that they will do when it comes to the man that they find attractive and desirable. So first things first, man, is that women are going to be a lot more neutral and shy in person, but bold online. This is a big thing that men need to understand, is that when you are a handsome and attractive man, one of the ways that you're going to be able to see that women find you attractive, if they haven't already told you in person, if you haven't already been able to attract women to you in person, or just attract women to you in general, and have encounters with women where you know that your physical appeal played a role in attracting them, one of the things that you can see is how do women respond to you by and large online through social media and dating apps. Because I've experienced in my life where women are going to be a lot more bold and direct and shoot their shot at me through mediums of social media, dating apps. I've seen women do this consistently at a higher volume rate in terms of just shooting their shot at me, making their attraction known to me online versus in person. If you see that women are a lot more bold, they're a lot more forthcoming, and they showcase their attraction for you online, like if you can achieve a lot of online success, but it feels like in person, women don't showcase those same type of signs to you, it's not necessarily because you are not an attractive man or that you can only attract women to you online. It's more so because, more than likely, given the context I just said, where you can attract women to you online by and large, and you've had a lot of women shoot their shot at you, a lot of women slide up on your Instagram DMs, your stories, message you first on dating apps, talk about how attractive you are, all these different things, then you're going to see that it's more so a case where women are just a lot more shy. They may be a lot more intimidated. They may have more of a neutral, indifferent facial expression and body language. Now, the thing is, though, when you're out in places like a grocery store, a coffee shop, or a bookstore, these are places that women aren't going to be in a more active attraction state where they're like looking for men that they can talk to, men that they find attractive, that they can shoot their shot at, or try to find ways to get his attention, which we'll talk more about that throughout this video. So if you're expecting like women to give you true signals for directly approaching you in person, especially during the day when they're not in an attraction state like that, it's more than likely not going to happen. You are probably going to have to be the one that steps up to the woman if that's the case, if you really want her, if you find her attractive enough to do that. You may have to do it because women are going to be too tunnel vision and focused on what they have going on, but also they may be too shy and nervous and intimidated to even say something to you. Because women have approached me with their friends and told me the reason why they brought their friend with them was because they were intimidated by me. Or women had a bartender talk to me on her behalf and asked me if I was single because she was interested in me. So women are going to be a lot more shy, more nervous, and more intimidated overall. So just understand that if women are more indifferent and come off more neutral, it's not that women aren't attracted to you, they don't find you attractive. They very well could, but it's just they're a lot more shy, they're a lot more nervous, they're scared of rejection, they're scared of coming off thirsty, and they're just scared of not being good enough for you. Now, of course, that's not going to be the case for every woman, but it is probable if you're a man that can attract women to you and you've experienced a lot of online success, women are often feeling the same ways on the inside of how the women conduct themselves online. Is just on their exterior in terms of facial expression, they're really good at hiding it. Then moving on to the second point is that women, when you're around them, when you're talking to them, they get nervous, they're more giggly, more shy, but you're going to see that they're going to have more positive body language towards you. They're going to see that they're going to shift their body language more towards you. They're going to open themselves up towards you more. They're willing to get more close to you. You're You're also going to see that women may be talking fast because that's a sign of nerves and anxiousness. You'll see that women will constantly fix their hair and constantly ship themselves. And really it's because they're attracted to you. They get nervous and shy around men that they find attractive because they're not used to being around men like this all the time in person, especially when you are her type. So you're going to see that women are going to be a lot more giggly, more shy. Their body language is going to be more open and positive, but they may constantly be shifting their body, constantly be moving around, playing with their hair, playing with like a necklace, an earring, trying to find different ways to calm themselves down and distract themselves from the fact that they are nervous around you, and they are nervous around you because they find you attractive. And then moving on to the third way that women are going to act around men that they find handsome and attractive, and I've alluded to this earlier in the video, but this will be through choosing signals. So multiple points of eye contact, looking at you, smiling, and then looking away, then looking back at you again. And then even seeing women do this a couple times, like they constantly make eye contact with you, maybe smile, and then they happen to be in your vicinity. They happen to be right behind you at a bar, let's say, or right next to you. Like I've had women that have done that where we saw each other a couple times and then they happen to be right behind me. Or women I made eye contact with a couple times, 2 minutes later, they're approaching me, or like they sneak up behind me. Or they may even send their friends to approach you on their behalf, or they may even approach you directly themselves. Now, I've experienced this more so in the environments of bars, lounges, and when I used to go to clubs in my early 20s, I experienced that in clubs as well. And I know guys have an issue with this. Guys are like, oh, I don't want to go to a bar. I don't want to go to a club. I don't want to go to a lounge. I get that. I don't really go to these places that often either. I don't really go to bars like that anymore on the weekends. I'm not trying to be around people who are drunk and acting crazy and shit like that. So I feel you. But these are going to be more so the environments that women will typically be doing this, because these are the type of environments where it's understood, it's implied, and it's even encouraged to meet new people. Because of the ambiance, the low light, the music, these places, these environments strategically engineer these environments to be where like people are more in like an attraction-like state where men can meet women, women can meet men, but typically bars and lounges and clubs do this. So more men, of course, come to these establishments because they know women are going to be there. So then these men are going to be there. So that means more money for them. But they strategically engineer these environments to put people in an attraction-like state, especially because women are going to be at these places with their friends and drinking and stuff like that. Now, you may have women that will be in these environments, but they may not be in a state of attraction where they're trying to actually look for men that are attractive to them and possibly talk to those men, interact with those men in some way, shape, or form, or at the very least get their attention. You're going to have some women that just want to enjoy their nights with their girls. That definitely happens, and that happens often. But because they're not doing something like looking for a book at a bookstore, working at a coffee shop, shopping for some clothes at the mall, because they're not doing something like that, that is taking their mind off scanning the room, seeing the type of men that they find attractive. And then on top of the fact that these environments, again, engineer strategically for both men and women to be in a state of active attraction, as I'll call it, women are going to be more likely to give choosing signals, to send their friends to approach a man that they really find attractive, or approach them directly herself, typically when she's a little bit tipsy. So if you don't want to be in these environments, then understand that the likelihood of women choosing up on you and send their friends to approach you during the day and in different environments that aren't engineered for this type of behavior to happen, the likelihood of this happening is going to be a lot lower. So you may have to strategically and selectively shoot your shot at a woman in this very context. Or with that being said, you should leverage online platforms like social media and dating apps for women to come to you, for women to showcase their attraction for you. That way you constantly have like women coming to you that are actually attracted to you, that pre-sold on you, and they are available to you. And I know guys are like, oh, women, I only want to attract women in person. I don't like women that are on dating apps and stuff like that. Here's the thing, a lot of the women that you may see in person are also on dating apps and social media. It just may not seem like it because all that's presented to you in person is you just seeing the woman in person. That doesn't mean that she's not on dating apps and social media. Hell, even this past Friday, at this point of the recording, after I attended a Muay Thai seminar, I went to the grocery store near my fighting gym. And I literally, after I got out of my car to go walk inside, not even 10 seconds later, I literally see a girl that I matched with on Hinge that messaged me and told me how I had a beautiful smile, beautiful features and stuff like that, and how she would love for me to put her in a mean chokehold because she was referring to a jujitsu clip that I had on my Hinge profile. I literally saw her in person. I can't tell you how many women I've seen in person in my city that are on dating apps and social media. And before we move on to the next point, like if you're someone that is just tired of women's mixed signals, you're tired of feeling like women don't notice you, or you're tired of missing women's signals, and you just want to be able to really know when a woman is attracted to you, you want to be able to pick up on the subtle subtle and direct ways that women are attracted to you, and just overall have the cheat codes to how women act around men that they find attractive. That way, when women do showcase that they are attracted to you, whether it's subtle or direct, you'll be able to instantly spot it and know how to maximize it. If you want extra help when it comes to that, definitely check out the free training that I made for you specifically, where I dive a lot deeper into more of the subtle and direct ways that women act around men that they find attractive, and how to actually maximize on these opportunities. That way you can attract more women to you, actually be able to retain them. Check out that free training that I made for you specifically, breaking down all of this. I'll have a link down below in the description and the pinned comment. And then moving on to the next point is that women will compliment you in ways that are more indirect, and they're not about your looks, but they have to do with your looks. Again, women will compliment you in indirect ways that aren't about your looks, but have to do with your looks. So what do I mean by this? You're going to see that women will give you compliments about maybe the way that you carry yourself, maybe the way that you talk to them, maybe how ambitious and driven that you are, how creative you may be. Like, they may start to like really describe these different types of traits about you, but in the context that they don't really know that much about you to really make an actual assumption like that. And just give you an example of what I'm talking about. So in that example where I told you earlier how a woman approached me with her friend because she found me intimidating, we started to have a conversation, and something about her having a toxic ex-boyfriend that was abusive and stuff like that came up. And she was telling me about her situation with her past boyfriend. And I was like, oh, like, that sucks. I'm sorry you went through that. And she said something to the effects of, oh, that's because you're a real man. That's why you understand where I'm coming from. But it's just interesting that she didn't really know me that much. She didn't really have that much information about me. She didn't know much about who I was. She didn't know about my personality traits, my characteristic traits, my background in life. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, she was calling me a real man. She was calling me that because part of that was because of her attraction for me. So she was complimenting me in ways like that, but that was more so directed towards her attraction that she had for me. It was part of the halo effect, where people think that when you're a good looking person, that you just have more positive characteristic traits about you. Even if you actually don't, people just assume that they project that overall by and large. And that's why you see that companies have models model their clothes, because they know good looking people are going to be perceived in a different way. Therefore, their clothes are going to sell a lot more. Their clothes are going to look a lot more appealing because the person that is wearing it is going to be a lot more appealing. And they're going to associate those clothes with the good outcomes, good treatment, good behavior, more attractiveness. You know what I'm saying? So that's why companies will hire models, because they're going to be able to sell their clothes a lot more successfully. That same type of role will play in how a woman perceives you when she finds you as that attractive man. She's going to give you these little compliments. Like, you'll know what I'm talking about when they're giving you compliments about your characteristic traits and personality traits, but in your head, like, girl, you don't really know me like that to be saying all that. You only saying that because you're feeling me. You find me attractive, which I appreciate. Like, you have to like laugh at it. You have to find it a little bit funny, because it is. Because they're saying stuff about you or assuming these positive things about you when they don't really know you like that, but it's because they're attracted to you. That's really why they're going to be giving you compliments. Oh, like, you're a real man, or you're very ambitious. I can tell. I know you're really confident. I can tell by the way you talk and carry yourself. They'll say all these things, and not that they're not true. You very well could be displaying these things that are true that make them say that, but typically in the context where they have limited information about you and they're giving you compliments as if they've known you for a while, that's when you're like, okay, like, I know you're saying this partly because you're feeling me and you find me attractive. And then the last point, man, is that women are just a lot more comfortable being in one-to-one intimate settings with men that they find attractive. They are down to spend as much time with that man on a date. They linger around and stuff like that, even on a date or on a link up, in hopes that man can transition things to escalate things further in terms of intimacy and stuff like that. I've noticed that women, when I've gone on dates with women, they were never in a rush to leave the date. Even women that had to work early the next morning were up late, would be up as late as I wanted to be. They were comfortable being in one-to-one settings with me. And really, you're going to see that women are going to be more willing to do these things. Maybe not all the time on the first date, because some women may just not be ready for that. They may be too shy or nervous, which obviously you need to respect that. But by and large, you're going to see that a lot more women are going to be okay being in these type of one-to-one settings with you, or spending a lot of time with you on dates, and not feel like they're in a rush because they're enjoying your company. They're also attracted to you. Maybe they want something to happen as well. They're hoping that something leads to another thing. They're hoping that you lead that interaction to a favorable outcome. But you're going to see that a lot of times women are going to allow you to lead the interaction. They're not going to be in a rush because they want to spend a lot of time with you. They want to spend as much time with you as possible, especially when they're attracted to you, especially when they have high high interest levels in you. Like they're going to be okay with maybe going back to your spot. If you guys had a good date, they feel good about you. They trust you. They feel secure with you. They don't feel like any red flags from you. You guys vibe. You guys have great chemistry, but of course they're very attracted to you. They'll be cool with that, right? They'll be cool in being in one-to-one settings with you, or them inviting you over to their place, which you got to be careful because some women have like crazy ex-boyfriends lingering around and stuff. So you got to be careful of that stuff. But you would just even see that women really just enjoy their time with you on a date, spending time with you. They're not in a rush to leave. And that's just because they're attracted to you, but they also enjoy your company. And again, if you want extra help when it comes to decoding the different ways that women act around men that they find attractive, and that way you can pick up on them as soon as they happen and maximize these opportunities. That way you can have more success when it comes to attracting women, but also being able to retain the women that you're really into and just having more thriving and abundant and overall prosperous dating life. Then again, check out that free training that I made for you specifically, link down below in the description in the pinned comment, where I break all this stuff down step by step and how I've been able to help a lot of men be able to decode these different signs, be able to maximize these opportunities, attract more women to them, and have a more thriving and abundant dating life. That being said, I hope you got a lot of value from this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.